Hey everyone, Evan Kirstel here today with a great conversation around high visibility thought leadership on social media, a topic that is near and dear to my heart as someone who's used social selling tactics and techniques for a couple of decades now. I'm super excited to talk about a new partnership with Ready for Social. Milan from Ready for Social, how are you?
Hi, Ivan. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm great. Thank you.
Great to see you. I'm super excited about this new partnership because, as you know, I'm a social media fanatic and I've worked with hundreds of clients over a decade almost to sort of turbo boost their social media engagement, reach, and more importantly, best practices. And your company, Ready for Social, is all about crafting and delivering best practices for sales and marketing teams within the enterprise. So tell me, before we jump into who is Ready for Social, tell me about you and your journey as a founder, as a startup at Ready for Social.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. So, as many of the founders I have met, I started my life in the enterprise, and I'm very thankful for that because that's the best training you can get sometimes. So, I spent 20 years in the enterprise world, and I was always a B2B guy. I always liked it, spent it in telco, many countries, many markets. And I happen to be the turnaround and the market entry guy. So it seems that naturally I like to build things, build stuff. So it was just a matter of time before my first company is going to appear. And it's much easier to do that if you have a great co-founder. So I have an amazing co-founder. And as I am the B2B marketing guy, he's the B2B sales guy. And it helps us to sort of like bring these two worlds together, and we understand the sales and marketing part of the B2B space, and we are able to tackle the social selling opportunities and challenges the large enterprises typically encounter while trying to enter social selling.
So tell us about the spark or the genesis of the company Ready for Social, powered by Thought Horizon, which is your corporate entity. How did the idea come about, and what was the initial, premise for the platform?
So many people don't know that, but I was the first customer of Thought Horizon.
Hmm.
So years and years ago, when I was running a marketing team for a large telco here in the US, I got referred to a new vendor. That person approached our CEO on Twitter, and they had a conversation how he can help us. And then I was referred to the meeting, right? And you know how it works in the enterprise. So I was just like, sure, I know what to do with my day. Of course, I'm going to take this CEO introduced meeting. And I'm going to talk to the guy. And we've talked, and he got me interested. He got me excited, and we tried a small deployment in Chicago. And when I asked about it a while later, my head of mid market was saying, "You know what? Salespeople are liking it." I said, "Whoa, wait a minute. I mean, salespeople are really liking a marketing introduced program. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen too often. Let me have a closer look." And we looked, and it's not only that the salespeople liked it, but it was producing results. And we deployed nationwide. And when I moved to my next job in the next country, I stayed in contact with that person. His name is Sandra. Now he's my dear friend, and we do business for a decade now. And we evolved his initial idea how social selling can help businesses to forge relationships and drive new conversations. And we have added technology element, and we've turned it into a company which is now serving large enterprises on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. We do it for more than a decade. And it's amazing fun. It's a really, really good experience.
Oh, that's so great. What a great story. And as someone who's also worked in B2B sales for 30 years, I saw this as an overlooked opportunity. There are tons of tools out there. We've all seen the MarTech marketing map with thousands, tens of thousands of tools, but very rarely does anyone focus on that B2B niche. and those B2B verticals. What do you think is different about B2B marketing, social media marketing versus B2C social, and what's unique? Some of the pain points that you address there with salespeople.
Right. So, we believe that social media is just a new extension of the fact that people buy from people.
Hmm.
And we believe that in B2B, as the salespeople moved at one point from letters to phone calls and then to emails and now to the video, uh, social is just another channel. And it requires them to be able to create a good presence for themselves on social media, um, be the best version of themselves, have interesting things to say. And that complements the brand presence, right? Brand presence will always be there. The large B2B brands will be present on social media. However, the individuals can forge their own personal networks and get their prospects and customers interested in all the things they know about the industry, in all the things they know about a customer pain points, and all the things they know about how to solve them, how to overcome them, how to tackle the new opportunities. So social selling is a great way, and social media is a great place to do these things. The slight issue is it becomes a chore. Not for people
Hmm.
like you, like you love it, right? You do it all the time.
Well, it's a
It's just,
personal obsession. So most
it's
people don't have
right.
the
Right.
brain dysfunction that I have. But yes, it's definitely not for the faint of heart.
Right. I always tell the prospects, like, listen, uh, posting on social is great the week 1 and week 2, and week 3 it becomes a little bit of a chore. What am I going to talk about today? So it's really good and interesting. And afterwards it becomes just more of the same. And
Hmm.
when you try to do a program like that, which has hundreds and thousands of participants all across the enterprise, different regions, different product portfolios, if you are a marketer, that's just a daunting task. And
Hmm.
it's really not so easy to find the resources internally and have the know-how and have the process and the attention to the detail week in, week out, so the program can perform. Because what we try to do for the salespeople is to help them to forge a habit. There's a fresh content for you every week. There is something interesting you can say. You configure it. It goes out. You don't really have to think about it because it will appear there on the next Sunday, right? And um, if you are on the enterprise end of that deal, that means there needs to be people who look for the interesting content, who prepare the copy, make sure the images are rendered right. It's just like this huge overhead which needs to happen every week. Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, doesn't really matter. The content needs to be there. And we've basically built our company around this need. And I think we have found a good way how to solve for it.
I love that. And it's so interesting. You're focused on the selling side because salespeople are notoriously lazy. I was a salesperson for 20 plus
Are you
years. I
allowed to say
understand.
that out loud on a live stream? All right, then. Okay.
Honestly, that the best salespeople are lazy because they're laser focused, not on the bureaucracy, on doing back office chores. They're focused on revenue, and anything that gives them an automation edge is key. And a lot of people are question automation, but when it comes to social media tools, but I'm a big fan of both automation and the handcrafted personal point of view and thought leadership. And I like that you can do both, right? I mean, you can take a curated portfolio of content and then customize it for your needs, maybe put it in your own point of view, tag your colleagues, tag a customer. I mean, isn't that the power of social, is automation plus your own personal touch?
I mean, like, that's just so well put. I couldn't describe that better. But that's exactly the tightrope we try to walk. How do you make it easy for the salespeople without turning them into bullhorns of a marketing department or robots, right? And that's non-trivial to do it at scale. But yeah, I mean, that's exactly where you want to be. You want to make it really easy for a sales rep to participate on social media, and you want to give them a choice of their own voice. Now, luckily, in 2023, this becomes easier and easier, right? We've just deployed generative AI into our platform, which makes it so much easier for the salespeople to find their own voice, right? So all the knowledge in which we have put into the process of curating the articles and writing the copies and everything, it stays there, and now we are overlaying it with the ability to make it their own, have a variety, have a different way how to talk about a topic than the guy 2 tables down. So that becomes extensively easier.
I love that. And the other challenge I found that these social selling programs or projects have is generating insight and analytics and data. Am I getting results? What's working? What's not working? What should I double down on? What messaging maybe should I forget? And Ready for Social provides a lot of analytics and insight, right, into the content that's being shared and engaged with.
Yeah. So, I'm the resident nerd in the company, right? So this is like a big thing for me to be here with you on live stream. I don't come out of my shell too often. It's much more safer.
You should. You have a lot to say. Absolutely.
Thank you. It's just safer here with my screen and then a pivot tables and Power BI and everything. That the data doesn't talk back. But no, thanks to this personal passion of mine, and it's going to sound silly to say it, right? Because it's sort of tooting your own horn. But I don't think that anybody else in the market has the same level of attention to the data and the analytics which we provide to clients. We measure so many KPIs, and we also benchmark the clients between one another, so we can really tell them, hey, listen, like this is the area where you are state of the art, and it's nice that you have this expectation, but that doesn't really happen anywhere. So let's figure out how to work with it. I talked with a client this morning, and I said, hey, your own content performs the same way like the one which we curate for you. That's not good.
Wow. Right. Right.
I mean, like, if you want to be a thought leader, if you want to stand out, then like the content which you have out there, that just needs to overperform the stuff which is written in your industry, because otherwise, you are just not a thought leader. It's really difficult to start the conversation. So sometimes it's as obvious as that. Sometimes, there are more nuanced versions of, hey, this copy more and this tone of voice and things like that.
And that's why I was so excited to partner with Ready for Social, because part of my job is a content creator. So I'm creating for and with my clients, written word, audio podcasts and video content and blogs and tweets and posts. So it's a valuable tool for me as an influencer and a content creator to help create and drive high performing content that gets reach and visibility and engagement. So, Ready for Social will allow me to basically participate in that community that's creating and curating content. So, really exciting opportunity. Why do you think more enterprises aren't leveraging tools like yours? I mean, it's kind of a vast, honestly, empty void out there when it comes to enterprise social. I see, you got the CEO suite and you've got a bunch of marketing people, but by and large, most, big companies don't have tools that equip their sales and other people with the ability to advocate and promote content. Do you think it's just an oversight? It's lack of understanding. It's fear maybe about using these tools, and or what do you see?
Well, I think part of it is that the social selling was very often in its early ages delivered under the brand of employee advocacy. And I think that just got, bad rap because the employee advocacy is just such a different play. And that certainly didn't help. And I think we are still in the early stages where many marketers try to figure it out by themselves, right? And the learning curve on it is actually quite long. I talk with prospects still quite often. We are a smallish company, right? And it's only this year when we started to see the change in conversation from we are using some platform, we are not happy with the results, how you guys can, boost it, what else you can do, how you can do the things differently. That's a very new conversation. In the past, it was just so different because in the past, people wouldn't even know what is happening. Right? They wouldn't even know that there are platforms. They would try to do it in-house. Many of these homegrown solutions sending emails to salespeople, hoping that they will copy and paste. Right? That was
The internal email newsletter. I love that. Yeah, we're going to email
right,
our
right, right.
employees.
It was a thing.
Uh,
It was a thing. Like 3, 4 years ago. That's how you would run your program, right? You would hope people will copy and paste. My favorite one is, oh, we push the content out on our corporate handle, and we expect our salespeople to reshare it, right? Because
right.
that's just the best way we can. So people still try to figure out um, what is the best way to do social selling. And true to be said, Evan, I think for many the ROI calculation is just so difficult, right? And we
Yeah,
have run a
and I have a tough time explaining what I do as an influencer, despite getting, hundreds of millions of impressions a week. It still have to explain the value. And yeah, so part of I think what the mission is to educate the business, the sales leaders, the marketing leaders on the power of social media, because many of these executives, frankly, aren't hands-on practitioners themselves. I mean, there are great exceptions like a Mark Benioff at Salesforce, who's very social, or Michael Dell at Dell, who tweets and posts in his own point of view. But most are sort of just hiding behind the firewall and aren't really getting out there on social media, either for lack of time, interest, understanding. So it's a great opportunity, I think, for you to get out there and educate the marketplace. And it's
yeah.
also more than just about LinkedIn. I mean, LinkedIn is where most B2B social salespeople will live, but increasingly it's a vast landscape. It's not just
Yeah.
LinkedIn. It's, of course, Twitter is still alive and kicking. You've got Reddit, you've got Quora, Facebook, Instagram. I imagine you have lots of integrations, both existing and in the pipeline for new and
We
emerging
do, we
platforms.
do, and it's kind of you sort of need to integrate both ways, right? One is to all the platforms, but on the other side, we finally see customers wanting to integrate with their backends and with their CRM systems, and so it's clearly growing to the point where the social media and social selling generates credible data and touch points into the marketing automation system and to sales automation system. So it's not only getting in touch with social media platforms, but making sure that the data flows to Salesforce and to other systems, and the salespeople can take action, and the marketers can see all the data pool across all the activity.
Yeah, that's
I
super
think it would be,
powerful.
yeah, I think it would be really interesting for you and I maybe next time talk about the ROI, because I think it's such an underrated topic, and we measure the ROI for the program. Our clients get anywhere between 5 and 8x on every dollar they put in. They get $8 back, which is such a powerful story, right? I mean, that's just not so. It's just not so easy to do with any marketing activity. But across the industry, that awareness is not there yet. So if you and I can evangelize that, that would be amazing. That would be an amazing journey.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to real stories and anecdotes as well. I mean, I have one client who basically said one of your tweets or posts generated a $3 million sale
Right.
by with a client. So that one deal, which was a result of many dozens or hundreds of posts, but that one particular lead came from a post that caught the eye of the CIO, that led to a discussion, that led to a pretty amazing opportunity. And that's all, the ROI. Okay, well, B2B, you measure it in one or two or five, 10 deals, and you've made your number as a salesperson for the year. So those kind of stories can be super powerful. And for me, why do I tweet 24/7? You use Ready for Social to schedule those out. People are like, well, why do you do that? Why do you tweet when you're sleeping? For me, it's really staying top of mind. With
Yeah,
your partners, your clients, your prospects, your community, the way you stay top of mind is by being top of feed. That means, someone sees a piece of content or they see a comment or a like or a share or they notice you. You get attention. And in this
right.
attention economy, that's gold. That translates into real dollars and cents.
Exactly. That keeps your boat afloat, and then occasionally you need to drop in such an amazing piece of content like you are producing today with me, right? When you get to talk about something new. No, but the truth to be said, the strategy around managing your own presence, that's underestimated by many, right? It's fueling the attention economy, exactly as you say, but that's the build up to, hey, and now I have a really, really important and interesting piece of content I want to deliver. I want everybody to know about it. So when do I drop it? How do I word it? Those things require a bit of thinking. How do you layer it in? If you're enterprise, how do you layer it in your overall marketing plan, right? How do you make sure that this product launch really gets the attention, and that event where your CEO is going to participate is going to be well visited? Those things require some thinking. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we have so much more to talk about, but thanks for joining today and sharing some of your insights and your vision. And check out the link in the post because there's a great opportunity for a trial and an evaluation, at no cost. And I'm excited to start working with my own clients on the platform and helping to turbocharge their sales and social selling efforts. But thanks so much for joining. Where are you, Milan? Remind me where you're based.
Seattle, Washington.
Beautiful. Well, springtime is here. You can see by the sun coming in. It's here
Yeah,
in Boston as well.
we are at a fake spring now. Like our real spring is going to arrive, I guess, 6 weeks from now. Thank you so much for having me, Ivan. This was really fun. Looking forward to do it again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for watching.